December 2012. Kyle Willoit, a seasoned cybersecurity researcher, embarks on an experiment. He constructs a water plant, an intricate network of industrial control systems, complete with advanced equipment, full documentation, and even a website. According to the legend, the plant is situated in Arnold, Missouri. But in reality, it's entirely virtual, running on a few machines in Kyle's basement, exchanging fake data to simulate real activity. Taking a deep breath, he connects the system to the internet. The experiment begins. Within days, the plant comes under attack from all directions: North Korean military hackers, Russian ransomware gangs, and trolls from across the US and Europe. They attempt everything from breaking into servers to injecting malicious code, all in pursuit of fun or financial gain. Yet, amid the chaos, one attack stands out. Several phishing emails land in the plant's inbox. These emails are meticulously crafted, with legitimate-looking attachments. One of them conceals malware. Once opened, it scrapes the virtual plant's documentation and beams the data to a command and control server. Kyle follows the trail and is shocked by how easily he tracks the attacker. The server is in China, vast and filled with government records, corporate secrets, and classified documents. He's stunned. He has uncovered APT-1, the hacker group responsible for Operation Shady RAT. How Operation Shady RAT started. For 6 years, similar stories had played out worldwide. Unlike Kyle's plant, though, the targets weren't virtual. The story begins in 2006 when an employee at a South Korean construction firm received an email with an attachment. The sender's name resembled that of a colleague, but something felt off. Unsure, the worker replied to verify. Minutes later, a response confirmed the file's legitimacy. Upon opening the attachment, however, malicious code was triggered. A remote access Trojan, RAT, infiltrated the worker's computer. Within months, at least 8 companies were compromised by the same RAT, with dozens more falling victim to similar attacks. The method remained consistent. Spearphishing emails appeared to come from familiar contacts, demonstrating some knowledge of the company but written in hurried, broken English. The attachments, disguised as harmless documents, concealed rats. The attackers actively engaged their victims, using social engineering to navigate defenses. This was a time when cybersecurity was lax by today's standards. Some intrusions even relied on users downloading and running screensavers attached to emails. Though crude, these tactics proved devastating. The real danger wasn't just the breach, it was what happened afterward. The attackers didn't simply take what they wanted and leave. Instead, they lingered, monitoring systems and siphoning every new piece of data. They expanded their reach, moving laterally through networks, infecting additional computers, and infiltrating company branches. The shortest known intrusion lasted a month. The longest spanned nearly 5 years. Their strategy wasn't about immediate destruction. It was about sustained intelligence gathering, remaining undetected while extracting valuable information. Unit 61398. As these attacks became endemic, the U.S. government enlisted private cybersecurity firms to analyze them. The term Advanced Persistent Threat, APT, was coined to describe hacker groups capable of such prolonged operations. However, it wasn't until years later that the identity of the original APT became clear. The first successful counterattack against the RAT came in 2011 from a threat research team at McAfee. They infiltrated a server storing stolen documents, uncovering logs of victim organizations, governments, corporations, and institutions, all compromised by the same tactics. The evidence suggested a coordinated effort, not isolated incidents. McAfee named the campaign Operation Shady RAT. By 2013, Mandiant, a cybersecurity firm now part of Google, took the investigation further. They traced the attacks back to their source, APT-1, a unit within China's People's Liberation Army, PLA. The group operated under the General Staff Department's 3rd Department, 2nd Bureau, also known as Unit 61398. The unit worked out of a military facility on the outskirts of Shanghai, where hundreds of personnel engaged in cyber espionage, electronic warfare, and even propaganda dissemination. They functioned with military discipline, showing remarkable resourcefulness, except in one critical area, operational security. Between Mandiant, McAfee, Kyle Willoit, and other researchers, Multiple sources confirmed the origins of the RAT. The Chinese hackers weren't careless or incompetent, they were simply unconcerned about being caught. Early on, they neglected to mask the use of Chinese internet providers, leaving their digital fingerprints all over the malware. Their tactics relied more on exploiting weak cybersecurity than on sophisticated deception. Some attackers didn't even bother encrypting stolen data, transferring it directly to Chinese servers via unprotected FTP. Job listings for hackers were publicly available. Former employees boasted of their exploits on resumes, and one researcher even published a scientific paper detailing attack techniques. Why shady RAT happened? Despite the lack of secrecy, the operation was wildly successful. Terabytes of stolen data flowed into the hands of Chinese military officers. The primary objective? Intellectual property theft. Throughout the 2000s and early 2010s, China's economic strategy centered on acquiring foreign technology. Their approach was simple: creating something from scratch is hard, but copying and improving upon it is easy. This philosophy drove China's rapid technological advancement. China's 5-year economic plans openly outlined priority industries for domestic production. Analysts later discovered a direct correlation between these plans and cyber attack targets. Lockheed Martin, the American defense contractor, was among the first high-profile victims. In 2007, attackers breached its servers and stole plans for the F-35, the world's most advanced stealth fighter. Shortly afterward, a nearly identical aircraft, the Shenyang FC-31, debuted in China. The U.S. military denied any compromise at first, but in 2015, documents leaked by Edward Snowden confirmed the theft. And it wasn't an elaborate heist, just a phishing email sent to a Lockheed Martin employee, masquerading as a message from a colleague. Beyond aerospace, countless companies and institutions were infiltrated. Factories, construction firms, research facilities. Each compromised entity provided more blueprints, processes, and trade secrets. The stolen data fueled China's meteoric economic growth, which saw a staggering 400% GDP increase. The RAT became the pipeline supplying the intellectual fuel for an industrial boom unlike any other. The new RATs. Efforts to counter China's cyber activities intensified. Diplomatic negotiations led to agreements banning cyber-enabled theft of intellectual property, and high-profile indictments targeted Chinese hackers. Yet, none of these measures proved effective. The Chinese government dismissed accusations, countering that the U.S. engaged in similar activities. Their response followed an age-old rhetorical tactic: if America does it, why shouldn't we? However, China did adjust its methods. Rather than halting cyber operations, APT groups became more discreet. They outsourced attacks to non-state actors, masked their traffic, and employed advanced obfuscation techniques. The blatant attacks of the early years gave way to subtler, more sophisticated operations. Gone were the days of openly exfiltrating data. Attackers began using intermediaries, compromising infrastructure in third-party countries to disguise the origins of their intrusions. Redirectors became standard, ensuring that attack traffic appeared to come from neutral territories. The brazenness of shady RAT was replaced with calculated precision. Operation Shady RAT may have been exposed, but its legacy endures. The evolution of cyber espionage continues, shaped by the lessons learned from one of the most audacious hacking campaigns in modern history.